Hi, welcome to Teach With Me. I am Miss Jen. Today we're working on the next letter in our A to Z Directed Draw series. It is the letter X, and I have two different, it is X-ray is what we're drawing today. And I have two different kinds of X-rays. I'm going to show you how to draw both. We're also going to do the writing that goes along with it, which we're going to do together. Anyway, you're going to need a piece of lined paper for the writing, printer paper, a felt tip marker, and some crayons. Let's begin. So I'm going to show you both ways that I did this. This one is a simpler version, and all it has is the spine, the pelvis, so that each of the legs goes to a different pelvis bone, and then a sort of a lines to represent the ribs. Now, if you want to do a more accurate version, you have the spine, the spinal column, you have the rib cage, and then I have ribs, and then the pelvic bone as well. So I'm going to draw this one, but I will be showing you this one so you can kind of see. They are both very doable for kindergarten. All right, let's start. So make sure your paper is facing horizontal, because again, these all go in a book, and so we want them all to be facing the same direction. You're going to tell the boys and girls to find the center of their paper and then go up a little bit. And right there in the center of their paper, they're going to draw a circle. Not too big. It is the head of the little boy. Then what we're going to do is we're going to draw two small lines underneath the neck, so that they can have, so that we can see the neck. Now, this little boy in this picture is holding up the X-ray. So we're going to draw the X-ray, which is a rectangle. So I think I'll start right about here. We're going to connect these two lines. And there you go. And then we're going to just turn this into a rectangle. Not too long, otherwise he'd have to be Mr. Stretchy to hold it. This one is going to be just right. On either side, we're going to draw this to make it look like fingers, or he's holding his X-ray up. Now, I'm going to tell the boys and girls that their spinal column to go ahead and feel their spine on their own back and tell them it is connected to their neck. And so what I'm going to do is right here, I'm going to tell them we're going to draw a line that comes down, not all the way, but comes down almost to the bottom. And then we're going to draw a line right next to it, another vertical line right next to it. This is a spinal column. And then we're going to make the pelvic bones. And I'm going to make them go out. Now this is not a completely accurate version of, of the inside of your body, but it's going to look like an X-ray. All right, so now we're going to draw the rib cage, and so that's going to start here at the top where the spinal column meets the top of the X-ray. We're going to draw a curved line that ends up next to the pelvis. So we're going to do that on both sides. Now, before we go any further, and I should have drawn the legs first, because the legs have to have one of these bones from the pelvic area has to be where the legs are. So I'm going to kind of go like this. Let's do it here. And because my little boy is going to be wearing shorts, it's not going to be too long of a rectangle. Then I'm going to go over here to this one. Do the same exact thing, and then we'll finish his legs afterwards. I just wanted these to be in the correct spot. All right, then inside the rib cage, all they're going to do is they're going to make some curved lines that connect. These are the ribs, and I'm only going to do 3 of them on either side. All right, and then that is the X-ray portion. Now, coming up here on the top, where his neck is, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by drawing a little line here. This is going to be a shirt collar, and then I'm going to come over here and come down. We're going to make a shoulder. Okay, and that's all that is. We're going to color that a different color. Let me show you my sample again so you can see. See, that's going to be the shoulder portion. All right, now let's go up to his face, and we're going to draw his nose in the center. We start with the nose. Underneath that, I'm going to draw just sort of a mouth like this. Above his eye, his nose, I'm going to draw the eyes, and then in the center of the eyes, I'm going to draw 2 vertical lines, and within that, I'm going to color a portion of it, not the whole thing. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. An oval, and then a vertical oval, and then color in most of the middle. And then I'm going to draw eyebrows. I'm going to draw ears on either side. If you have the kids touch their nose and pull their hands to the side, they'll see that their ears are in line with their nose, and so that's how I always teach the boys and girls to draw. Now for the hair, it's simply a matter of, I'm just doing it like this. I'm drawing lines all the way from one ear to the other, and then I'm going to turn it around and go the opposite way. And if they have to turn their paper to do it, they can. Oops, that's not going to work for me. I'll go back the way I was doing it. And then I'm going to do the same thing one more time, because I think he needs a little more hair. And there it goes. All right, then we're going to come down and do the legs. So I'm going to make it just a rectangle slightly less wide or narrower than what we already have. And I'm going to come up, and that's his legs sticking out from under the shorts. I'm going to make a little kneecap curve. I'm going to do the same thing on this side. Another rectangle, another kneecap curve, and then we make 2 ovals for his shoes. And then I'm going to make some curved lines for the laces. Now let me draw the background. So this is going to start here on where the x-ray is. It's going to go to the end. And we'll do the same thing on the other side. And now up here in the background, I'm going to draw the hospital. So all it is a rectangle on the side that's shorter, that goes all the way to the end, and another rectangle, a narrow rectangle on top of the hospital. Now we're going to go back to all of those horizontal lines we did and draw a parallel horizontal line. In the center of this one, I'm going to draw a cross. That is a symbol you see on many hospitals. In this long one here, I'm going to write the word hospital. I'm going to draw 3 windows. They're not even. I'm going to draw a door that looks like this. And then this is sort of the portico where the ambulances come, so I'm going to draw a larger one. All right, so that is how I drew it. This is how I colored it. You don't have to color it exactly the same way, but I used my blue shading crayon to color the sky. And then I used 2 different colors of green for the grass. That was just my preference. I used gray and then white also for the x-ray. I used people colors for his skin color, and you can get something like this. This has all different colors of people colors in it. And I did blue jeans, and then I made his shoes match his little t-shirt, the top of the t-shirt. And then there's my hospital. All right, time for the writing. So this is the writing that I have for this one. Remember, every single writing is the same frame. This is not phonics. This is simply writing practice, practicing writing within the lines, using spacing, using proper punctuation, using proper capital letters, using our sight words correctly. This is meant to be that practice, also touching our words as we read. And I use the same frame every single time. The letter, whatever it is, X is for, and so this one says X is for X-ray. And then the second one is a sentence that gives you a detail. X-rays show what's inside the body. And then our last sentence this time is a question. Did you know they were invented in 1895? This is also practice, giving the kids practice understanding that if they still have room and they're talking about the same thing, that word goes on the same line, but it's, and also if there's 4 lines, that doesn't mean there's 4 sentences. That's another reason I do it in different colors. This is put on the board behind the small group so that the boys and girls can look up, and if they finish their black sentence, they know they're only looking at the blue sentence, and so forth. If they're done with the blue sentence, then they're on the red sentence. So it's just an easy visual for them to be able to figure out where they are quickly. All right, I'm going to go ahead and write it on here and do it with you. I'm going to write the first sentence, X is for X-ray. The whole time that they are writing, I'm watching what they're doing. If they make a mistake, we're going to correct it right away in a very positive way, because if you let them learn mistakes and keep making those same mistakes, then that's how they're going to learn it. It's so much harder to unlearn a mistake than it is to just learn it right the first time. All right. Now I'm going to say, oh, good job, you're done with your black sentence. It's time for your blue sentence. Let's read what that says. It says, X-rays show what's inside. I'm sorry, I did that wrong. X-rays show what's inside the body. I always point to the words as I read them to the kids because I want them to get in that habit and to understand that each thing I say corresponds to something that is in writing. All right, so X-rays show, and I'm going to say, oh, look, I still have extra room. Do I have room to write this word here? Oh, I do. And I also am using this to have them show me that they know left to right, that they can read left to right, that they know where a sentence is going to begin on the left side of their paper, and so forth. So it's just that constant repetition. This is something that we do from the very beginning of the year. And when they have phonics writing, that's completely different. This is not that. This is something that we do every single week, and then when they're finished with all of the pictures and letters, we put it into a book. We are almost done, and so when we get to letter Z, I'm going to show you how I would put it into a book. I'm say, okay, good job. You are done with that blue sentence now too. Our next sentence says, did you know they were invented in 1895? Question mark. So where's your first sentence going to go? Do you still have room here? You do. Good job. Let's write it right there because it's a new sentence. We're going to make that an uppercase letter. And then where do I go next? And I'll have them tell me they go over here next. So did you know? And I'll write this very quickly. Did you know they were, and the whole time you are just praising those things that you really want them thinking about, because trust me, when you praise what they're doing, they remember that and they try really hard, and they'll start to show you, oh, excuse me, I'm sorry, I got out of the camera range. They'll start to show you, oh, look, Miss Jen, look what I did. And I'll be like, oh my goodness, you remembered. I'm so proud of you. And there you go. Okay. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you found it interesting and useful. If you did, please like, subscribe, and share, and I will see you next time.